When was the last time you told the honest version of something? Not the cleaned up version, not the lessons learned, retrospective, not the I struggled and then I figured it out arc that is safe enough to post publicly. The actual version, the one from inside, the middle of it, where you did not know how it was going to turn out, where the doubt was real and the outcome was genuinely uncertain. If you cannot remember, that is what today is about. Because I believe that most founders are one honest story away from the audience, the clients, and the community they have been trying to build for years. And the loop is what stands between them and that story. Every founder I have ever worked with has two versions of their story. Version 1 is the public version, and I want to be clear version 1 is not fake, it is real, it is honest, but it is managed honest. The struggle is acknowledged but safely in the past. The timeline is clean, the lesson is extractable, the arc resolved in a way that makes you look capable of having survived it. Version 1 is honest enough to seem authentic, managed enough to protect the identity, but I still believe there is some form of a mask which is preventing for the real authentic connection to happen. And if it produces a specific kind of response, people appreciate it, they like it, they'll save it, they occasionally comment, this resonated, but they do not feel it, not in the way that makes them stop what they are doing and reach out, not in the way that makes them feel genuinely less alone. I was actually facing this because initially I remember I was a very camera shy person. I was someone who can't speak out properly and connect to people in terms of expressing my ideas and everything. So, a lot of my work was kind of done with the help of AI, and in terms of content, I would give it, it would formulate in a manner, but the the reconnection which was needed to be checked and then shared out, adding your genuine part to it. What exactly the AI is writing won't be exact. There will be always the differences. That is why people still exist. It's in the end it's an AI. It's just going to give you something which you are asking it, but that human touch element only you can add. The emotions of what you felt only you can add, and that is one of the places where I was also lacking. And I would give it data which frames me in a particular manner, and I was very happy with that framing. Why not? But I understood that was one of the reason why it was not connecting to my 80/20 customers. Maybe I was running behind that whole of audiences, but in the end I just have to connect to my 20 audience, the ones whose energy I connect to, the one whose ideas and match my alignment ideas, the people who understand what I'm doing and how I can actually help them come out of their emotional loops. Version 2 is different. Version 2 is the story that is still alive, still unresolved, the one where the outcome is not yet clear, and the lesson has not yet been extracted and packaged and made safe for public consumption. I just like the raw truth part of it, and I believe whoever is the customer for this also connects to that ideology. Whoever are the people who are okay with the methodology of helping and the ways of it will connect. But depending on how your energy is aligned with them, how your genuineness is coming out to them. The one where outcome is not yet clear, like I said, this the genuine transition, the whole story journey is what connects you to your clients, you to other person, not your clients. Leave the clients factors of now. You to another person. Version 2 is the Tuesday night in the car story. The specific moment of doubt that has not yet become a lesson. The thing you're still carrying that has not been transformed into content yet. And the version 2 produces something completely different. Not appreciation, recognition, the deep cellular recognition of someone who hears their own private experience named out loud for the first time. That creates the change. That recognition is what builds trust, real trust, the kind that does not require more proof, the kind that makes someone book a call at midnight because they just listened to something that finally understood them, that finally connected to them, that finally is a place where you don't have to wear a mask. I want to give you my version too for something that happened this week, not a polished story, the actual one. I have been building towards something specific in the podcast, working towards bringing the first guest on, letting the right conversation lined up, building the content week by week with a specific direction in mind. And this week I got ahead of myself. I started sending anticipation for something that has not happened yet. Across content, across the community, across everything. I was building towards a moment that was still weeks away. And when I caught it, the loop was immediate and familiar. It said, "You're performing ahead of reality. You're managing the audience expectation to protect them from the actual timeline," which is a polished way of saying you're not being fully honest. And I had to sit with that, not dramatically but honestly. And the irony, I didn't realize it for quite some time, was very big. The version 2 of building reset entropy is that I still get ahead of myself sometimes. I still have moments where the performer loops run a version of me that is slightly more composed and slightly more certain than the reality itself. Not by much, but enough to feel it when it catches it. The version 1 would have just corrected it quietly and moved on. The version 2 is telling you about it. Because the telling is what keeps me honest, and keeping that me honest is what keeps the work real. I can't be one with a mask on my face while helping clients, while helping people. Because when I talk about awareness for people, it is showing the real side, which is not there in their conscious mind but rather running in their subconscious mind. So, to make them see, the first step to that is I should see myself first. That is when the true alignment will come into picture. If I am wrong, yeah, I am wrong. I have to correct it, I have to learn from it. I can't be always the one who will pronounce myself as right. If that is the case, I will never proceed or learn anything. The version 2 of the version 1 would have just done other way around in all this scenario, trying to portray the best. I still believe I will learn throughout my life. Learning is a never ending game. There is always going to be challenge, is the viewpoint with which we face the challenge changes when we go through the life of this reset entropy. We know how to declutter the room now that it has been cluttered since a while. Similar goes for the emotions that sit in the brain. The 10,000 tabs open for people, for things, for lifestyle, for this, for urgency, security, you name it, is open in your head, needs to start closing consciously. And the dopamine control that is much more needed. The loop that keeps most founder telling version 1 is almost always one of the three. The performer says if they see unresolved version, the authority breaks. People follow you because you seem like you have figured something out. If you show them you are still figuring it out, they will stop following. No, that is not the fact. If you showcase that you have figured out everything, you are just projecting it in a manner attracting a wrong set of clients altogether, to be honest. Telling that you have figured out everything is just quoting a lot, to be honest. I feel you are always out there learning something new. You cannot know everything. So that projection itself is like a false projection. This is factually incorrect. The showcasing of knowing everything is factually incorrect, but the loop does not deal in facts, it deals in threat response, and the threat of losing authority is enough to keep honest version permanently private. The imposter loop says tell the story when it's fully resolved, when you have the lesson, when you can deliver the transformation arc clearly. Until then, you do not have the right to take up space with your unfinished experience. But here is the thing about the imposter loop version, about readiness of it. It is a moving target. The story is never fully resolved. There is always one more layer of understanding needed before it feels safe to share, which means the honest version never gets told. And the life is a whole of a learning curvature with ups and downs, with new tests, new things coming day by day. You're not going to be ever getting a full resolution of stuff just like that and going to give that out. You can give your experience out, you can guide people on that pathway. That is how it works. The approval says, what if they judge me? What if the raw version makes them think less of you? What if vulnerability looks like instability? And that is the cruelest one, because it takes the exact thing that would create the deepest connection, the honesty, unresolved, alive version of your experience, and makes it feel like the most dangerous thing you could share, because it best thing it does, it filters out the people, filters out the crowd automatically, and the ones that connect to you are the true 20% of the customers, 20% of people, 20% of your clients that are in exact energy sync and frequency sync with you. All three loops are protecting you from the same thing, being fully known, and being fully known is the only thing that produces genuine community. One practice I want to share before I close tonight, not next week, tonight. Write the version 2 of something. One thing, it does not have to be dramatic, it does not have to be your deepest wound. Just one thing you have been telling versions 1 that deserves the honest version. You can comment down below, you can DM me, or you can just reflect it in your diary. Write it privately. Write it privately first, just for you. The act of writing it is honest language without managing it, without extracting the lesson, without making it safe. What is the first step towards being willing to say it out loud? Just say it. Just do that. And if you want to understand which loop is keeping your most honest story private and what it is costing you in your businesses, in your relationship, that is exactly what a loop decode session is. Now the funnel has been changed for me, so it goes takes you through a journey of a small video procedure. I'm going to attach the link of that in the bio as well, and as well as in the description below. But think of it, connect to your true genuine self and get that genuine self out there. The fear of judgment is only stopping you to showcase the real human side of you.